A very good morning to all of you. This is our second part of the chapter Translocation of Organic Solute. In last part, we learn about the definition of translocation of organic solute, then different theory of pressure flow theory, that is also known as the Munch hypothesis. Okay, and the part from which translocation of organic solute can be takes place. In this part we will learn another theory, that is the diffusion theory, and another important part, that is the source sink relationship and phloem loading and unloading. Let us see one by one. First one, again let us see the definition of translocation of organic solute: the movement of organic food materials or the solute in soluble form one place to the another in higher plant is called as the translocation of organic solute. Here the food material are produced by the process of photosynthesis, and that food material are synthesized in the leaf. From leaf they are translocated to the various part of the plant. That means the site of production to the overall plant body, they can be translocated. That means they are move from the one part to the or one place to the another place in the higher plant. That is called as the translocation of organic food material. Here in last lecture we learn about the Munch hypothesis. This is another theory. In this theory, the name of theory is diffusion theory, and in this theory, or according to this theory, organic solute translocation takes place by the simple diffusion mechanism. We know that the diffusion is a process of movement of molecule from higher concentration to the lower concentration. Okay, when sugar is dissolved into the water, the diffusion can be takes place. Sugar molecule dissolve into that water at a equilibrium condition, that is known as the diffusion process, and by this diffusion only, the diffusion process or diffusion theory only, the organic solute are also translocated to the various part of the plant. Okay, here this theory and this theory have some objection are also there. First one is the translocation mechanism is too fast, okay, and diffusion process is too slow. Okay, when we dissolve the sugar into the water, they dissolve slowly, and most of the food material or organic solute, they are nothing but the carbohydrate, and the translocation mechanism, that is very fast from leaf to the other part of the plant, and they can translocate in a fast movement. But diffusion process, that process is very slow. Second, sometimes movement of solute occur against the concentration gradient. This is the another objection. And third one is this theory lacks the experimental support. Like Munch hypothesis, there is a experimental support, but this diffusion theory does not having the any experimental support here. In this way, this is about the diffusion theory. Next one is the source and sink relationship. This diagram is taken from the Google. Here the leaf is the site of production, that is known as the source, and sink is the site of utilization. That means the various part of the plant, they are used or they are the sink. Okay, source and sink, these are the two concept here. Source is the site of production, that is the leaf, and sink is the site of utilization, where that food material are actually utilized. Let us see about this theory. The source is an area or a part of plant where nutrition are manufactured and made available for translocation to other area, that is nothing but the sink, and the area or the part of the plant where translocation of the nutrient are utilized either from the energy production by respiration or stored is known as the sink. Okay, energy production is done there. And mature leaves or the green branches, they are the source of the food material or sugar, while root, stem, young leaves, flower and fruits, they are the sink area. They actually utilize that carbohydrate. Okay, the growth as well as the all physiological activities of sink is strongly regulated by the source only. Organic food material, that is the photosynthetates required by the sink for growth as well as the storage and physiological processes are provided by the source only. An increase in the photosynthesis at source and increased translocation rate toward the sink cell, the growth rate or the food storing activity of the sink is controlled by the synthetic activity of the sources only. Okay, and on the contrary, the rate of photosynthesis and physiological behavior of the sources is generally regulated by the sink only. Okay, and the accumulation of excess sugar that is in the sink really sink region may causes the feedback inhibition resulting into the lowering of the food material. If in sink region more and more amount of food material is stored at that time, the rate of photosynthesis is also affected. The rate of photosynthesis is decreased here due to the if excess amount of food material are stored into the sink site. Okay, this clearly indicate that the source and sink, they are strongly correlated with the each other. Let us see here in this diagram. This is the xylem canal. The xylem canal is responsible for the water movement, and this is the phloem canal, and that phloem canal is responsible for the translocation of food material from source. This is the source side and this is the sink side, from leaf toward the various part of the plant, and this is the xylem canal here. Okay, in this way this is the connective or convenience cell. From that the food material can be translocated from xylem to phloem to the sink or other part of the utilization. In this way, this is about the relationship of source and sink. Our another point or last point of this part, that is the phloem loading and unloading, in which first one is the phloem loading. Actually phloem loading and unloading, it is a phloem. We know that the phloem is a vascular tissue responsible for transport of the sugar or carbohydrate from the source tissue. Okay, source tissue is nothing but the photosynthetic tissue, that is nothing but the leaf cell, to the sink tissue. For source to the sink, that is the sink is nothing but the non photosynthetic root cell or developing flower or other part. Other molecules such as the protein and mRNA, they are also transported through the plant via the phloem. Not only the food material, also mRNA and some amount of protein is also translocated here. Let us see one by one the different terms in that. First one is the phloem loading. Phloem loading occurs primary in the leaves. Okay, and to be exact, phloem loading is the process of photo assimilation transport from the photosynthesizing mesophyll cell in the leaf to sieve cell of the phloem. In the leaf phloem, sucrose concentration remains very high and therefore osmotic potential is very negative. And it has been found that mesophyll cell have greater osmotic potential at that time. So, from the source cell, sugar is somehow transported and concentrated in the leaf phloem cell. Okay, and most loading into the sieve cell. Okay, and some sugar is accumulated in the leaf, and that means the most of the sugar is loading into the sieve cell occur in the minor vein of leaf, while the transported occur through the major vein. Okay, that sugar can be stored in the minor vein of the leaf and they can be translocated or transport from the major veins. Okay, and minor vein ends contain of a single xylem element, a few parenchymatous cell and one or two sieve cell symplasmically connected to one another, 1 to 4 companion cell, and photo assimilation can travel from the mesophyll cell to sieve cell via plasmodesmata. That are nothing but they are the bridge between them, or by exciting the mesophyll cell through the plasma membrane, traveling through the cell wall and then into a sieve element and transversing into the plasma membrane. The former is called as the symplasmic phloem loading. It is known as the symplasmic phloem loading, where phloem is loaded by that cell. After that, phloem loading, and later it is called as the apoplasmic phloem loading, where the path sugar molecule takes its state. Okay, and source of the debate also. A broad generalization is that more primitively species follow symplasmic phloem loading, while more highly evolved species they are apoplasmic phloem loading. In this way, this is about the phloem loading, where the food material can be produced into the leaf, and further some amount of food material are stored into the smaller veins or minor veins, and excess amount of the food material can be translocated into the phloem region through the major vein of the leaf. That is the concept. Next one is the, again here two types are there, symplasmic and apoplasmic. Okay, first one is the symplasmic loading. Here most plant that load assimilate symplasmically translocate between the 20 to 80% of the sugar in a raffinose related compounds such as the raffinose, stachyose or verbiscose. Okay, in these three forms that sugar can be translocated in that form, in these three forms. Okay, the general hypothesis is that sugar diffuses from the mesophyll or the bundle sheath cell into the companion cell via plasmodesmata. That process is the symplasmic, and once in companion cell, sucrose is enzymatically converted into the oligosaccharide. If they are come into the companion cell, they are converted, these three form is converted into the oligosaccharide, that is again nothing but the raffinose and stachyose. Okay, in this way, which maintain a diffusion gradient of the for the sugar, and raffinose and stachyose they are the larger molecule than the sucrose, and they are prevented from the diffusing back into the mesophyll cell. They does not come back into the leaf or bundle sheath cell by sizing excluding plasmodesmata, and the raffinose and stachyose diffuses into the sieve cell only. In this way, they can be transported into the phloem. Further, this is known as the symplasmic. Second one is the apoplasmic. The apoplasmic loading model accomplished selective concentration of the solute in the sieve cell via energy dependent membrane transport pump. Okay, there is a mechanism is there, and with the help of that mechanism the sugar can be translocated here, and genes have been identified which are selectively expressed in the leaf phloem, which encoding the sucrose pump. Okay, unfortunately not much is known about the sucrose efflux out from the mesophyll cell. Then there is a very less mechanism or less information about the apoplasmic loading is there. Only one thing is there, some mechanism is there, and with the help of that mechanism that sucrose molecule can be translocated into the sieve tube. Okay, that mechanism is nothing but the membrane transport pump. Okay, in this way, this is about the apoplasmic loading. And last one is the phloem unloading. Again, the food material are translocated from leaf to the phloem, and further from phloem it is again to the sink region, that is known as the phloem unloading. The final step in the phloem transport chain is unloading product of the photosynthetic into the sink or phloem. That process is known as the phloem unloading, and once at the sink, the transported photosynthesis have one or three fates. First one is the cellular catabolism in respiration. Second, biosynthesis of component needed for growth and maintenance. And third one is the conservation or conversion into the storage product. Okay, and that regulate the transport among the complete sink. In this way, phloem, in short, the phloem unloading is nothing but the when the food material can be or sugar is present into the phloem, that food material which is present into the phloem, they can be transported to the sink region. That sink region may be the flour, that may be the fruit, that may be the root. Okay, and when the phloem from the food material or sucrose from the phloem, they can be transported to the sink region. That process is known as the unloading of the phloem. In this way, this is about the phloem loading and unloading. In this way, this is the last part of this chapter. I hope you are understand that. Thank you very much.